Hello, welcome back to LIVENODING. In this episode, I'll be sharing with you how I created these donuts that's been covered with a mashed avocado or something, and Susan monkey head that's been covered with this kind of like a rainbow foam. All right, so it's actually really simple, and even the donut is actually created procedurally. So with the donut, I really started with just the default cube, and then I welded, and then I displaced it, and I use screw. So everything, if you change the value, it will actually update, and uh, it's gonna propagate and update to the actual donuts, or it could be like a bagel in this case. So okay, let me show you. So the whole thing, this thing is making the donuts, including the screw. But the next part is, of course, this geometry nodes that's doing some magic. I can reduce the number of the points. So I started with a point distribute. I have this seed here, so it's kind of animating. So it's going around in the seed. It's kind of like a being pushed in terms of sorting. And after point distribute, I have a little bit of randomizations on the positions. I think, make this a little bit taller. Yeah, something like that. And then after I do that, I separate the XYZ, the position, so I can get this position Z attribute. And with the position Z attribute, I can compare it with this height. So I can make changes here. I can make changes of how far it goes down or up. Okay. And I use the blur, this is as masking for point separations. So I can have like the bottom part and the top part. It's you can think of it like a little bit like a snow, and how high or how low you want the snow to be on your surface, on the surface of your object. And after I do that, I have this attribute randomizations for the radius of the points, and then I have this points to volume, and I think I have volume to mesh. Let me see. Okay, seems to be really slow. So yeah, and I simply play around with this the density of the volume. Oh yeah, I'm also using this attribute fill and material index. So for each object here, I have two different objects. For each object, I already have the material that I use to colorize this mesh. So one thing with the volume 2 mesh, it's I cannot make it smooth unless we separate it and use remesh. So that's one thing. At any time in point, I can change this donut. And also, if I'm not wrong, I can change the radius, inner and outer radius of the donut. I think that's kind of nice. So this is the power of parametric modeling. If I make something with sphere chalk or something, I can always attach this icing into it. So for example, if we have like an icosphere, just a basic icosphere, and we want to put some icing, you can actually just simply copy the modifier. Copy to select it. This guy now have this icing. You can actually pipe out some of the attributes of the icing, so we can kind of control it from the outside. For example, combine XYZ here. We put 0.1 here. Plug this into B. But this 0.1 value we can pipe outside to the modifier. So now we can control how far this can go up or down. Okay. As for the material, it's really looking at the first and second material for each object. I think it will be also quite nice if you can just output like a two objects, like in Spreadchalk you can kind of have control for that. So now we have an icosphere with some topping on the top. Currently this feels a little bit slow and sluggish. Let me control the voxel detail. Okay, see, you have full control for the whole thing. Oh, okay, with the threshold, maybe keep the value like 0.4. You can up the density here. The radius is controlled by this attribute randomize for the points. In the latest 2.93, you can actually select attribute by using this drop-down menu, which is pretty handy. So try changing this. Can make it really big. I think this could be useful for snow. You know, like if you have a lot of assets and you just want to put this geometry on top of them. Yeah, I think that's pretty much what it is I want to show you. Hopefully you find this useful and interesting. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.